Hello guys, good morning. So wherever you are, please let me know if you can hear me and if you can see me. As you guys are coming on, this is take 2 because the first video did not have video. So please let me know if you can see me. Hello, am I visible? Yay, there I am. Everything in life is temporary, including whether or not you're visible on video. So here I am. Okay, welcome. I'm just going to give everyone a second to get back on here, and then I'm going to start to talk about a few things, all right? Okay, welcome. Thanks, guys. Thanks for being here. Thanks for being patient with technology. We do our best, and sometimes technology gets the better of us. So how does it get better? And I wonder what's possible today. So what I had just started saying is we've already been receiving some really cool messages and testimonials about people receiving their daily figures already into the WhatsApp group, into the Facebook groups. So I would love to congratulate each and every one of you who are receiving your asks. And for those of you that are not receiving your asks yet, please don't worry, please don't freak out, please do not think you're doing anything wrong. All I'm going to ask you to do is stay in the energy. So if you are right now someone who is wondering, what can you do to actually have this challenge work for you? What's it going to take to actually start receiving your ask and beyond your ask in your life, in your business? What I'm going to ask you to do is stay in the energy of this group as much as we can. And the reason I have asked other members to share their wins is because when you see something is possible for somebody else, it also creates this spark in you where it should hopefully inspire you and remind you that it's possible for you too. So my vision for this group is you come in here as often as you want on your Facebook, on your WhatsApp, and you see all these messages of people creating money, creating wealth, receiving. And you get inspired and you have that energy activated within you too, and you start to believe it's possible for you. And it doesn't matter if it took you a day or 2 days or even the whole week goes by and you don't receive your ask. What will happen is it'll start to occur afterwards. I have seen people create $0 during the challenge, and then the next week everything starts to open up because we're doing all these powerful exercises. For some people there's a bit of a time lag. For other people, it works instantly. There's no right or wrong way about this. I've also had some people feel like they think nothing's happening. And then a few days after the challenge finishes, in one big hit, they receive their miracle ask, their miracle figure, which is one of my favorite ways to do it. It's also actually something that's happened to me on 2 of the challenges. And so that always excites me. Now, if you're not quite sure what the figures are that I'm talking about, please go back and watch yesterday's video. It tells you how to come up with your 3 figures to use for this challenge: your daily ask, your weekly ask, and your miracle figure, which is your big bonanza to add to your life and business from doing this challenge. Okay, hi everyone, welcome. Thanks for joining us as you're continuing to join in. You're welcome to post your questions, your comments, your feedback. Everyone that's making their money, I see Judith here said, how amazing how I received more than my daily figure. That is amazing. Congratulations. Somebody else into the WhatsApp group said they received 4 times their daily figure. I wonder how much you guys can all receive. Now, today's exercise is actually called receiving. It's the receiving exercise. And it's a great little exercise and also a powerful exercise because for many, many years for myself, I really couldn't grasp this receiving word and what it even meant. And why were we constantly talking about receiving, and how was that related to money? Okay. And so I don't use it lightly, or I don't use it flippantly, and I don't think you're stupid or wrong if you don't get the receiving conversation either, because I didn't get it for years and years and years, and it really frustrated me because I knew about money, I knew I liked money, I knew I wanted money, and I didn't know why I wasn't having as much of it as I wanted, and I didn't know what receiving had to do with it, when in my mind I had decided I already wanted it, right? So today's exercise is about giving you some more awareness, perhaps a different perception and a different realization about where you're at with receiving, and all of the different things that receiving could mean and could look like for you that maybe you haven't cottoned on to yet. Okay, so I am going to do this exercise. Now, there's two ways that you can choose to do it. You can do it as a like eyes closed meditation type exercise where I'm gonna say things and you can see what you can envision. Or if you would like to use a piece of paper and a pen to write down what comes up for you. You can do it as an exercise or you can do it as a meditation. It's completely up to you. So I'm going to give everyone about 10 seconds to decide how you would like to do it before we start today's exercise, which is receiving. Now remember to keep posting your questions, your comments, your wins, your queries, your frustrations into the Facebook group, into the WhatsApp group, so that everyone else can contribute to you. And if you have questions you would like answered, if you can post them into the Facebook group or the WhatsApp group, and I'm going to be making a list of all the questions, and one of the days is a Q&A session. So I answer all of your specific questions about how to make money. That's going to come up on day 3 or 4. So if it's not tomorrow, it'll be the day after. So get all your questions in. Get all your frustrations in. Tell me about what you think is blocking you or stopping you, and I will address your specific concerns. All right, so today, welcome to day 2. Here is your exercise for today, and it's called receiving. And this is about really figuring out what receiving even means, where you sit or stand on the scale of receiving, and maybe where there might still be some work for you to do to get your receiving done. When I say get your receiving done, I mean get your receiving activated and done, meaning once you know something, once you get an awareness about something, you can't go back. So once you realize how little you had been receiving or what receiving actually means, you're not going to go backwards. So let's get you in a much more comfortable or confident position or place when it comes to receiving. Okay, so I'm going to ask you all, I'm going to ask you to use a scale of 0 to 10 for this exercise. The scale of 0 to 10 is how happy or comfortable and confident you are with receiving. So 10 is absolutely 100% really, really comfortable. And 0 is not comfortable at all. 0 means I cannot receive, will not receive, don't know how to receive, as per the example you're speaking about. 10 out of 10 means I'm really happy and I know how to receive and I have no problems with doing what you're asking me to do in the exercise, okay? So close your eyes. And if I were to ask you, how comfortable are you with receiving a free cup of coffee? Write down the answer for yourself or just get an awareness of it in your mind. Great. The next question is, how comfortable are you receiving a hug from somebody you love? Oh, I see some zeros. I see a 2. I love it. So 0, 1, 2 means very uncomfortable, very low with receiving that. 10 out of 10 means no problems at all, and you can choose any number on the scale. How comfortable are you receiving a compliment? Out of 10. Are you 0 out of 10 comfortable? Does it make you very uncomfortable and embarrassed? Or does it make you really happy and you love receiving a compliment? How comfortable are you with being praised for your achievements? So you've done a good job, you've done something really well. How comfortable are you being praised for what you have achieved or done well? Acknowledged, praised, made a big deal out of. Everyone else gets told about what a good job you've done. How comfortable are you? How comfortable are you receiving an expensive gift? Perhaps some jewelry, perhaps some fine silk, perhaps some lovely china, something that's expensive in your eyes, something that is valuable. How comfortable are you receiving that? How comfortable are you asking for exactly what you would like? So if you want something from a person or from a situation, you might even be paying for it. But how comfortable are you to ask for something exactly how you would like it? 0 means you're not comfortable at all. 10 means you're very, very comfortable saying, I want this in that way, and I want it to be this, this, and this, and I want it to look like that, that, and that, and I need it ready by this time. How comfortable are you with that? Nice. I'm seeing some nice high numbers here. Oh, we've got a 6. That's about middle. That's good. How comfortable are you with returning something that isn't exactly what you would like it to be? You've ordered something, you've paid for something, you've received something, whether it's a product, whether it's a service, and it's not exactly what you would like. You're not happy with it. How comfortable are you returning it? I see 5 zeros. I love that. It's very, very good. Well, it's not good, but it's great to be so aware that that's how uncomfortable you are with that prospect. Lots of zeros, also some 10s and also some 5s. Awesome. Great awareness here, guys. So how comfortable are you standing out and being seen for who you are? How comfortable are you if in a room full of people, people can look around and notice you? How comfortable does that make you feel? So that means you would be receiving attention and maybe some energy. How comfortable are you with receiving attention and energy? Oh, we've got a couple of zeros in a row. Got a 7, got a 10. Nice. How comfortable are you receiving something for free. No matter what the value of it's meant to be, maybe it is meant to be free, maybe it's meant to be a paid product, maybe it's whatever it is, no matter what the value is, how comfortable are you receiving it for free? Oh, you've got 1 to 4s to 5s here. Lower end of the scale here with receiving things for free. How comfortable are you receiving something at a discounted price? How comfortable are you if there's a big event or a big birthday party thrown, especially in your honor, just for you? It's your birthday or it's your graduation or your anniversary or something, and there's a big party and lots of fuss and lots of attention and lots of gifts, all about you, you. How comfortable are you? How comfortable are you being disliked? If somebody doesn't like you, maybe throws a little bit of negative energy or a bit of shade at you, how comfortable are you with not being everyone's cup of tea? How comfortable are you being adored, being the absolute favorite? How comfortable are you making or receiving lots of money? So if suddenly on your doorstep or in your bank account you received $1,000, how comfortable are you with receiving that, no matter where it came from? How comfortable are you receiving $10,000 into your bank account or on your doorstep, no matter where it came from? How comfortable are you receiving $100,000, no matter where it came from? How comfortable are you making $500,000, $500,000, no matter where it came from? How comfortable are you making $10, no matter where it came from? How comfortable are you receiving $100, no matter where it came from? How comfortable are you receiving $1, no matter where it came from? Mm. How comfortable are you spending $1? How comfortable are you spending $50? How comfortable are you spending $500? Solid tens all the way through. Fantastic. How comfortable are you spending $5,000? And how comfortable are you spending $50,000? Okay. So we're seeing some interesting trends. Now, I'm only seeing some numbers, but I'd like to talk to you a little bit about this receiving and what these numbers might mean for you, no matter what the numbers are. Okay. So we were seeing a couple of trends. First of all, it was much harder to receive everything else apart from the money. The numbers fluctuated greatly until we got to the money part. Yeah. And then when we got to the money part, with receiving, the higher the numbers were, the higher the amount was that I was asking about, the higher the numbers of comfort were. People were saying, yes, I'm totally comfortable receiving $10,000, $100,000, $500,000, right? When I asked about $1, $10, $100, the numbers started to change a little bit. Some people were less comfortable receiving $1 or $10 than receiving $100,000. With this exercise, one of the things that I realized is while money is conceptual, it's easy to think you do or don't have a problem with it. And it's easy to create stories around it, but never to actually actualize with it or have it. That's why everyone would love to win the lottery. Everyone would love to be given $100,000, $1 million, $500,000. We think we would receive it with no problems and we would love to have it. And if I ask you out of 10, how comfortable would you be? You're like, 10 out of 10, give it to me today. I can't wait to have it. Now, I'm going to ask you something and just see what the awareness is. There's no right or wrong. Is that what you're truly comfortable with receiving? Or are you 10 out of 10 comfortable with receiving it as a concept because you never believe it would actually happen? You don't actually think you would ever have that amount of money come to you in a physical form in your bank account or on your doorstep. $50,000, $100,000, $100,000, $500,000, or $1 million. Those big figures in a lump sum. That's number one. That's one point I'd like you to look at. Yeah, it's a concept, right? So when I work with people, and it's why I said to you guys yesterday, I said, don't put $1 million or $500,000 as your figure if you have no concept of that figure. I don't want you to set yourself up for failure. I know lots of people that are like, I want to make $1 million, or they have these big money goals and they never hit them. They're stuck in this perpetual loop of, I'm going to make all this money, but the money never comes. And it's because it's only a concept to them. It's not cold, hard cash. And so what we do with this challenge, part of it, the money challenge, is trying to make money something that's not just a concept, but have you actually start to receive it, cold hard cash in your bank account into your hand, so that when you can receive the amount that is your daily figure or your weekly figure, and you can see how you can actually receive that and it's not just a concept, then you can start to have that in your life more and more, and then you can increase. You can increase from $10 to $20, from $20 to $50, from $50 to $100, and from a couple of hundred to $1,000. Suddenly, it's available to you in your world. But it's why I ask you not to set yourself up for failure by choosing money as a concept that keeps you stuck in a loop of a concept forever, but never actually having it in your life. Okay. Now, for some of you, what happened with the numbers is you're very comfortable receiving it, and then when we start to spend the money, the numbers, the level of comfort starts to go down. You know, you were comfortable spending $1, comfortable spending $10. When we get up to $50, $100, $10,000, $50,000, not so comfortable. Why? Maybe you believe that that money's not going to come back. It's not going to be replenished. You're going to run out of it. Is money something that you're always worried is going to run out? Is it a resource that's not renewable? Is it a resource that's not easily replaceable? Is it something that keeps you worried about not being able to function freely with it because it's something that needs to be really looked after, which it does, but it needs to be something that needs to be protected and maybe even hidden, and maybe not have the freedom and the joy and the ease of an easy relationship. It's hard. It's hard. It's difficult. If you let it go, it might not come back. It's finicky. It's fickle. So for some of you, it's the money going out that shows your problem or your place to look at around the receiving, because if you believe something, you don't want to let go of something because it's not going to come back. That's another way to look at your receiving. Sometimes we need to work on believing in the flow of money and the fact that money is a two-way street, not just a one-way street. A few of you are asking about receiving money from unknown sources, like you're not comfortable if you don't know where the money's come from. Cool, I totally get that. The fact is, everything in this world where money is coming to us from, money is the energy, and the source that we can see, the physical entity that it's coming from, is just the courier. It's the way that that energy is being delivered to us. So I understand what you're saying. So with receiving then, when we were asking about what comes up for you about receiving from as a gift from an unknown source, just receiving for the sake of it. So if money isn't tied to a known source, if you don't believe it's possible or you're not comfortable receiving money from anywhere or everywhere, apart from only the places that you can predetermine or approve. You know, it's okay. I'm going to receive money from my job, from my salary, from the clients that I receive money from the places I can expect and project and know that I'm going to receive money from those places. But then you cut off the possibility to receive from all these other places. When we get in our minds about money, and part of this challenge is about getting us out of just being too far on one side of the continuum. I'm a very practical person. This challenge is not about being like, money's just going to rain out of the sky from unknown sources and you just have to get okay with that. I'm not on that camp, but I'm also not in the camp where it's like money is very controlled, very restrictive. You have to know exactly where money's come from. Money's very linear and there's only one or a few ways to make and receive money. Nor am I about that. I'm about bringing it all together and having a healthy balance of the possibility, the magic, the energy, plus the practical steps, the practicalities of money. So whatever scale, whatever end of the scale you are on, whether you're at one end or the other, where you're just waiting for money to rain out of the sky for you because you're doing all the energetic work, or you're very, very linear, you've got your blinkers on, money can only come to you from the predetermined places and sources where you have experienced that they can come from, you've been taught they can come from, and there's not a room for possibility. This challenge and all the work we do is about creating more fluidity, creating more ease with coming more into the middle of that continuum and being able to have all possibilities with money. All of the things, and so for you guys that are worried about taxes and receiving from unknown sources and where has it come from and is it good money, bad money, clean money, dirty money, what are the consequences of large amounts of money turning up on my doorstep? That's all stuff you can look at around receiving, because even though it doesn't sound like a receiving thing, when you're looking at what would sabotage, what would go wrong, what would be the problem with receiving any amount of money, but especially large amounts of money, that's another way that your body or your mind is showing you have a block to having abundance show up, because it doesn't mean receiving large amounts of money doesn't mean that you're shady, doesn't mean you're going to not pay your taxes. If you received a large amount of money unexpectedly, I'd be pretty happy to pay the tax on it. Or not, it's up to you. But it's like, don't let that stuff stop you. And if it is the stuff that comes up, however real and true and valid your reasoning might feel and be for why you cannot receive and why you shouldn't receive, all I'm asking you to do is look at that point of view, and from a place of genuine curiosity, ask if it's a real and valid justification for not receiving and not being willing to have large amounts of money or any amount of money. Okay, so any questions, comments, or queries? How are we going? So everybody, remember, as we start to wrap up, remember when you do, yeah, I love that comment. Sounds like to be like children, happy receiving candy even from strangers. Yeah, well, unfortunately in this reality, we have been taught, This reality is based on don't accept candy from strangers because they have an ulterior motive and they probably want to kidnap you and it's not going to be good. And you can't get things for free. Everyone always wants something back from you. There's no such thing as unconditional receiving or gifting, and there's always a price to pay. Okay, so everything that is and everything that brings up for you, that's just more information as to where you might think you're great with receiving, and you are. I'm not saying you're not good at receiving, but my question around this challenge is what things are underneath that could increase your receiving so much that you don't know what to do with all the money that you're receiving. And for those of you where it's not about the money, this is the important part. This is why I started, and this is why we did this exercise today, which is quite a different exercise. Quite a different exercise to what we've done previously. And I'll give you an example. When I used to go to like farmers markets, which are like markets where people are selling food and jam and things, you know, just any sort of markets where people would have their stuff on display to sell. And when it came to food or when it came to samples, when they had samples on their table, I felt really bad taking a free sample or having a free sample of something. In fact, most of the time I wouldn't, because I wouldn't want to take something for free. Now, those people put those samples out for free for that very reason. They wanted people to sample what they were putting out. They wanted people to try it. But if I knew, especially that I wasn't going to buy that product, that I was just going to be trying it for the sake of trying it, i.e. receiving a taste of their baking or trying some of their hand lotion for free, I was very uncomfortable and I wouldn't want to do it. So what does that tell me about my willingness and ability to receive stuff? If I felt like I couldn't make it transactional. If I couldn't give something back, or I wasn't willing to give something back, if I wasn't willing to buy their product because I wasn't interested, what does that mean about willing to receive in a non-transactional way? And so for all of you, when it got to money and it got to figures and numbers and it was all fine, but when it comes to compliments and love and praise and adoration, or even negative feedback, if you're not willing to receive that, what is that showing you about non-transactional receiving? And if we can change what we're willing to receive when it's not about money, you will notice a massive increase in what you can receive when it comes to money too. So I'm going to leave you with that little food for thought. I'm going to leave you with this very interesting exercise. You might want to add other examples to this. You might want to come back to do this exercise every couple of months or every once in a while. Because now that you've realized that you're uncomfortable being hugged or being adored or receiving attention or receiving a gift or receiving a free cup of coffee, maybe you want to see how that can change. And if your sense of ease with receiving a free cup of coffee can change, then I wonder how long before your sense of ease with receiving more money into your life can change. So have fun, enjoy, keep posting your wins, posting your questions, comments, queries into the group, into the WhatsApp group, into the Facebook group. We'll see you back here, same time, same place tomorrow. And let's make that money. See you guys. Take care.